Good morning, friends, and welcome to the tea. Today we have a special guest, and as she gets herself here, I will share with you the tea that I'm drinking today. I should mention that I'm in a new location. I have moved my remote teaching to the mountains. My wonderful parents, who I've missed very much during this quarantine, we've decided to quarantine together in the mountains, and so they have a beautiful home in upstate New York, and I'm very lucky that I get to be here. So I'm surrounded by trees and a beautiful lake called Friends Lake. It's my favorite place in the world. I've been going here since I was born, and I'm excited to be here, but I'll still be teaching you just like always. And as I'm waiting for my special guest, I will share the tea that I'm drinking. It's English breakfast, spoiler, but it's a different brand. So I'm trying different varieties of English breakfast. So this is a company, I've only seen this tea sold in like TJ Maxx and Marshalls, but I love them. I think their tea bags are so artistic and pretty. So this is a brand called Clipper English Breakfast Tea. And in the description, it says organic English breakfast tea. And then it says an extremely special blend of the finest organic Assam and Ceylon teas. So I feel pretty great about drinking this. Now I have to say I oversteeped it a tad because I was in a crisis mode. I went to turn on my computer. And mind you, I've just driven 5 hours yesterday, so I'm not like right near the tech office to go get help. And so I go to plug in my computer and it just didn't turn on. Very bad. And so I was concerned, but then we fixed it. And now you get to meet my special guest. Here she comes. Da, 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 da. Drum roll, please. Here she comes. Da, 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 da. She's muted. She's invisible, but she's coming. Here she comes. Yay! What's behind you? It looks like you're sitting in a coffee house.
Just windows.
Oh, it's a window. Wow. I'm just blind. I was just telling our large viewership about how I just had a minor, I don't know, meltdown because I couldn't turn my computer on. And I was like, if I can't turn it on, what do I do? And guess what my mom's suggestion was?
What?
She said, you should call that Dom guy. He's so nice. So he doesn't work for Collingswood anymore, but she still thinks he should be my go-to person. For those of you watching, Dom is Grace's stepdad, do we call him? Yeah. So welcome all, and welcome Grace to the tea. Tell us about you, because I haven't said anything about you so far. I should mention that Grace is my student. She's super awesome. I'll let her tell you more.
Well, I'm Grace. Somebody calls me Gracie Poo for some reason.
Gracie Poo, that's your name. I thought when you just said I'm Grace, you were going to say I'm great, which you are that too.
I don't know. I'm in Miss Whitman's language arts and writing class.
Yeah. So some poor saps get stuck in both language arts and writing with me. Other kids have me for just one period a day. Grace gets the double treatment. Yeah. The only one who has it worse than you is Ryan, who has me for advisory too. That's rough. I know he misses me terribly right now. So are you drinking tea right now, Grace?
Yes.
Tell us about it.
Well, it's pretty basic. Just some Lipton tea.
Standard Lipton. You know what? Lipton is like it's like the what's the word I'm looking for? It's like the pattern for all other teas.
Yeah.
Do you like to dress it up? Do you put stuff in it?
I only put milk and sugar in it.
Oh my gosh, you put milk in your tea? That's so disgusting. Why did you do that, Grace?
I don't know.
Because you're European?
Sure.
So fun fact, y'all, Grace has some strange European tendencies, which I blame on her dad, who is from Ireland, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So for example, what are some of your weird European tendencies? I can't think of them off the top of my head. You hate peanut butter, right? Isn't that one? No, you don't hate peanut butter. That's not you.
Yeah.
You do hate peanut butter. Oh, that's right. You just cooked with it anyway. So Grace hates peanut butter, which is, I don't get that. And then also you use some funny words that I think are European. What's some strange phrases you use?
You made fun of me for saying marmalade a few times.
Marmalade, yeah. That's so European. And you put milk in your tea, which is very British. Yeah. I actually think if you go to England and you order a cup of tea, don't they just put like milk in it without asking you?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah, that's a no-go. I remember being in England, and I think I must have had, I don't remember doing this, but I must have said, please don't put milk in my tea, because there's no way I was going to allow that to happen.
I actually have marmalade taste right here.
Do you? You're in like a pretty brightly lit room. Can you like show us this, like put it up close so we can really get a good view of your marmalade experience?
Okay. Here's my marmalade.
Oh, look at that. Is it orange or lemon or something else?
It's orange.
Orange. Is orange like the best marmalade in your opinion? Ooh, fancy pants. Did you buy that in England?
No.
On your last trip across the pond?
I've only had orange, but I'm sure I'd like other kinds.
I remember one time going to this like British market with these friends. I had like a very strange trip to England where I met these friends actually in the place where I am now in the upstate New York mountains. And I met these friends who were renting a house, and I like hardcore bonded with them. And so then they were like visiting their children in Pennsylvania. So I visited them there, and then I visited them in England. And it was like this elderly couple, and they lived like in the bottom of England, and they were so nice. And they were like, come visit us anytime. We would love to have you. And so I was like, okay. And so I came to visit them, and I spent like a week with them, and they took me on like this driving tour of their whole area where they lived. And we went to this market, and there was all these jars of marmalade, and there was even like a lime marmalade, which both was delicious. But think about how many limes you probably had to squeeze to make that much lime marmalade. That's a lot of work. So, Grace, tell us about what you did yesterday that I sadly missed out on because I left the state.
So yesterday, I actually made them the day before yesterday. But I made some homemade cupcakes. I made a dark chocolate cupcake, and I made a vanilla cupcake. And then I made dark chocolate buttercream and vanilla buttercream.
And totally from scratch, no boxes. That's amazing. So viewers, Grace not only made these cupcakes, she kindly dropped one off for me, and I had, left the premises at that point. And so my roommate found it, and my roommate is very careful about what she eats. And so she texted me and she said, a student left a cupcake for you. And I was like, well, I'm like 3 hours away and I'm not coming back until who knows when. So I don't know what to do about this. So you're going to have to eat that cupcake. And I thought she would not do it because she's, very intense about her eating. But guess what? She texted me last night and she was like, I ate the cupcake. Your child is an amazing baker. I think we're on a slight delay, but I hope you heard that. You're amazing.
Thanks.
So the next thing I want to know is how you're handling this quarantine. What is the hardest part for you, and what do you miss, and is there anything you enjoy about it?
Well, obviously I miss my friends and family. I also miss my sports a lot.
This would be what season would you be doing, like spring soccer or track?
This would be soccer and track, just ended.
You were gonna do both?
I was doing this, yeah.
Oh my goodness. Great.
And I don't know. There's like some downsides of it. Oh, my mom in the background. But I don't know. I'm just overall sort of like bored of it. But I'm just glad that I'm able to stay healthy as well at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm also able to do like some things that I would have never done if I was just on a normal schedule.
So what are some of those things that you might not have done on a regular schedule?
Well, I wouldn't be able to bake as much.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of times I'm busy and sometimes I go with my dad on weekdays. And I don't know, I've started a 1,000-piece puzzle.
You started what? A giant puzzle?
Uh-huh.
Do you know something about me? I hate puzzles.
Yeah.
I can't handle them. Although recently one of my students saw that I hated puzzles and was like, maybe you should try a 3D puzzle. And he sent me a link to this puzzle that like you make like a 3D structure out of. That sounds torturous. Have you ever done that? Mm-mm. No, me neither. I have no interest in doing it. No way. So tell us about you are a hardcore watcher of TikToks. I almost earlier when you said you were bored, I was going to go bored in the house and I'm in the house bored. But I'm also kind of sucked into the TikTok world, and I am curious as to what TikTok things have most entertained you in this time.
I don't know. I guess that's just whole thing because you can sort of just keep going.
That's true. Isn't it nice that nice but also scary that it like curates the videos based on what you like, so it'll figure out like, oh, Grace likes this, and then they'll keep showing you those kinds of videos. That creeps me out, but also like makes me happy. I discovered recently that, I told you how TikTok has clearly figured out that I like funny old ladies, and it like puts funny old ladies saying funny stuff on my feed. So recently it also discovered that apparently I think farting is really funny. And so, because I'm clearly, a middle school teacher, and I think middle school stuff is funny. And so there's these things where there's this guy with this sound effect, and he like goes into a store with like people around and steps his leg up on like a shelf or something, and then plays this really obnoxious fart sound, and then everybody around him freaks out. And I can't stop laughing. It's so funny. I'm a child. But anyway, so tell us about your positivity that you want to share with us today.
So my positivity is that even though you may be like stuck at home and stuff, you're able to do things that you wouldn't be able to do. Like at least I want to. So like I like to bake a lot. I've been practicing soccer a lot more. I have a basketball net, so I was able to do that. And you can also still do things that you love, like hanging out with your friends, just like bike with them or something. 6 feet apart, I guess. Like
6 feet apart, and with your helmet. Advice from the teacher. Do you feel like this is a good time to learn some new skills? Like I know you already can bake things because clearly you're amazing, and my roommate loved your cupcake. But can you are you trying to learn to bake some things you haven't baked before, or to try some new techniques?
Yeah. So I've never made frosting before. That was like my first success at it. So I was able to learn how to do that. And I've been learning some soccer tricks. I've been able to juggle a lot more.
How many times can you juggle a ball before you drop it?
Well, it's on my feet, so not that many. But like, I guess 15 or 20 is my high score. I'm not that good at it.
I think that's about 19 or 14 times more than I can do it, because that's amazing. You hold on to that. I think you should see if you can break some kind of a record. Let's set a goal. How about 100?
Okay.
That didn't sound very enthusiastic. Yes, 100. How about let's make a goal. I'll make the goal too. I don't even think I have a soccer ball here, but I will do something. You can issue me some kind of a challenge. You can think about it. And then my challenge to you is to do 100 ball juggles, soccer ball juggles. Is that what they call that? Ball juggling? Juggle?
Yeah.
Soccer juggling. There should be a name for that. Shuggling. Shuggling. I'll get back to you. Shoveling.
Okay.
So Grace, viewers, has been occasionally, Grace likes to torture me a little bit. She's got that sweet face, but she's nodding yes, because she knows she does. So one of the many ways that Grace tortures me is that she comes onto our classroom Google Meets before I get there, and she's discovered that if you get there first before the teacher, you can actually mute the teacher. And so Grace, and what?
And kick them out.
And kick them out of the Google Meet. And so Grace has been beating me to my own Google Meet because I'm rushing from one to another. And then if I talk too much, which happens often, then she can mute me, which is so lame, but also kind of hysterical. So that's one thing she loves to do to torture me. The other thing she loves to do, well, there's at least 16 more, but 2 more I'll mention. One, she hijacked my Google Home. So he was like, Miss Woodman, show me your Google Home. Let me see it. And so I take my computer dumbly to the Google Home, and I'm like, here it is. Check it out. Thinking she just wanted to see it because she couldn't just look it up on Google. I don't know what I was thinking. So she then talks to it, and it listened to her, and she told it to play the most annoying song in the world, which I will not tell you what it is here because then you will all.
The Gummy Bear song.
Oh my gosh. You are the worst. Well, now it's out there. The Gummy Bear song. I hate the Gummy Bear song. If you don't know what it is, don't look it up. Just trust me. And then the last thing that she does, this isn't even torturous, this is just more like funny. Well, Oh gosh, every time I say it at the last one, I think of like 14 more that I could say. So Grace has a kazoo, and sometimes she will perform for the on the kazoo for me. But I'm wondering if she will offer a concert for the people. Will you do it for the people?
I will do it.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna get my kazoo.
Yes, go get your kazoo. We'll talk about you while you do it.
Okay.
Also, side note, Grace is wearing a shirt that I own, and I wish I'd known she was wearing it because I would have worn mine too, just to really like embarrass her and amuse myself. But alas. Anyway, while she's gone, I will just say that she is one of the dearest students, and in spite of her goofy attempts to torture me, I just love her very, very much. And she is a bright light of positivity in my life. And when she comes back, we're going to act like we don't feel this way because she can know how much I love her. Actually, she can. She does. I love her a lot, as I do all my students. So students, if you're watching this, I love you. All right, Grace, how long does it take to get a kazoo? Grace was trying to purchase a solid gold kazoo, and then we looked it up online, and there is no such thing. You can get like a fake gold kazoo, but not the real deal. So I feel like if you can't get a real gold kazoo, then why have a kazoo at all? Actually, that's not how I feel. I kind of love a kazoo. I think people actually, there's like kazoo ensembles, like people that are basically like an orchestra of all kazoo players. And if I find that, I'm gonna put a little link in the comments because that'd be a really cool thing to see. And I feel like my life would be better for seeing a kazoo orchestra. I do know, similarly, there's a thing called Tuba Christmas where all these tuba players come together and they play Christmas music as like an orchestra of tubas. And I know that because my college roommate randomly, she was a flute player like me and a piano player like me. And then she decided, I'm going to learn the tuba. And so she did. And she was like just a tuba boss. And it was funny because the tuba was like the size of her. So it was very entertaining. So anyway, I'm going to investigate kazoo orchestras and tuba orchestras. And I will post a little video. I think. May have lost her kazoo, or maybe she just got lost in her own house. Sometimes I wonder.
Okay.
Oh, here she is. I was not talking about you while you were gone.
I can hear you.
You heard everything I said? No, you didn't. Did you hear me say that I wish I'd worn that shirt so we could be twinsies?
I heard that you said you have the same shirt and this used to be your shirt.
I did not say that. That your shirt is your shirt. My shirt is my shirt.
Oh.
Do you know what my shirt says? Guess what my shirt says. Hold on, that's pretty cool. Property of, guess who?
I don't know. What?
Property of Whitman. That's my name, y'all. So I have to so I have an uncle who owns a bakery, which some of you may have been to. It's called Del Bono's, and it's got all these big giant Italian statues, and it's really cool. I don't know why I just said Italian statues. They're not Italian, they're animal statues, but it's an Italian bakery. But anyway, he owns this bakery, and so every year he like creates some kind of a Whitman themed thing that everybody in the family gets. So like one year it was a Whitman bumper sticker, which is why everyone knows which car is mine because it says Whitman on it. And like another year it was a Whitman like a hoodie, and this one year, a couple years ago, it was a Property of Whitman shirt. And I feel like somehow in my household, I inherited like all of my family's Whitman shirts. So I have like 3 or 4 of these of all different sizes. And it's fun to wear because it's like saying, I am my own property. And the other cool thing is it was established in 1947, which is the year that my adorable grandparents got married. And they're no longer living, but they were married for, guess how many years?
I thought you were going to say that's the year you were born.
How do I end this call now? Talk to the hand. Y'all, I was not born in 1947 or 57 or 67 or you are decades before I existed, before I was even a figment in someone's mind, you meanie pants McGee. 1985 for all you mathematicians out there. But 1947 is when my grandparents married, and they were married for 66 years, which is pretty amazing. The most beautiful of love stories. All right, so without further ado, Grace will now perform for us a concert on the kazoo.
What do I do?
I don't know. I mean, you have done many different songs in your performances for me, so I think it's up to you. I mean, there's always the old, you know, what's that called? Blinding lights thing, the TikTok-y thing.
Yeah.
Blinding lights? Blazing lights?
Something like that.
Don't pretend you don't know. Bright
I
lights?
think it's blinding lights.
I think it's blinding lights too. Well, either that or let's see, how about a nice, what's a good little quarantine song? Do you know the song that goes, show me the way to go home. I'm tired and I want to go to bed. You know that song?
No.
No. Okay.
I think I know the song.
How about be it ever so humble, there's no place like home. Okay. How about I'm coming out, I want the world to know, you know?
I think I have a song.
Oh, okay. You're just making me sing weird songs for people. I see how it is. Go ahead. Let's do it. Are we gonna do like name that tune, or are you gonna tell us what it is? Let's name that tune. Let's see if you can.
Well, I think I'm gonna know what it is. I'm just
Okay.
gonna go back real quick.
She thinks we're gonna know what it is.
Okay.
I thought you were muted because no sound was coming out. Was that just like a testing of
No, I
the?
was muted. Yeah, it was a testing.
You muted yourself to test the kazoo? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Hard to laugh and kazoo at the same time. Serious face. Serious face.
Okay.
Bored in the house. Oh, bored in the. Maybe the words would be better. Bored in the house. Bored in the house. Bored. That's amazing. Good stuff. I think we need one more.
Okay.
She's so willing. Such a performer.
Okay. You're gonna need a better view.
Oh, okay. I thought we were just getting a view of your fan. It's very nice. It's a nice fan. Okay. Here it comes. The moment of truth. Kitchen. That was amazing. Would you like to tell us all how you managed to both play an instrument and dance? Like that's, I feel like you could totally choke yourself and fall over, but you manage it like a champ.
Or, you know, just a professional.
Professional. She's a baker, she's a dancer, she's a kazoo artiste, she is a soccer ball juggler, she is all the things. But we love her just because she's Gracie Poo. All those other things are secondary, but we love them too. Well, Grace, do you have anything you want to say to the viewers of the tea before we end our time together so I can prepare for, you know, seeing you again in like 2 hours?
Well, stay safe. Stay home. I hope everything's well.
And don't use too much toilet paper, people. Right?
Go buy some marmalade.
Go buy some marmalade. The advice of champions. Well, Grace, you've been a delight to have on the tea. You're a delight to have in class too. And I am thankful for you. I know you're thankful for me too, and that's what you're saying as you chew that piece of toast. But it's okay. You don't have to verbalize it. I know. It's all in the eyes. I see you. I see you. All right. Shall we toast before we go? A toast.
Okay.
No? Yeah, okay, there we go. Ooh, snazzy mug, like it. Toast to all the good things. I will see you very soon. Thank you for joining me.
Okay, bye.
Bye.